hope it's not playing right now because I can't hear it.
It's the Navigators through the mic. Here we go! He's killing it. Watch out. He's so in love and he's mad about it. Madluh. That's why we say,
come on, man, you already know.
Madluh.
Let your breath flow like water. Drink in the nourishment so balance don't falter. Walk in creation as all gods on your altar. Like rocks of Gibraltar, we stand strong yet softer. We foster upgrades, reprogram your DNA. Shine light in your airways, release you from your learned ways. We see you hardened by swordplay as we decode the haze. When lost in the maze, we help you climb towards volume and unity. Divine light shining individually, collectively transforming community. Peace in our human family. Listen, hear the wailing of the ancients. It's cellular memory emitting purity over hatred, embodying patience over billions of years. When living like a vagrant, spirits in arrears. Fear is what the governments are peddling. They're in your face, they're in your ears. They're misguided, meddling. Don't be settling, our love's continually spreading to all corners of the earth. Foundations are settling. Volume of unity. Divine light shining individually, collectively transforming community. Peace in our human family. Volume of unity. Divine light shining individually, collectively transforming community. Peace in our human family.
One love, one growth, as above, so below. Feel the pain in my soul, the red pill dissolved. Organized, no matter the cost. Politicians create wars, they don't go, they force the board. And nothing lasts forever as long as we stay together. Give hell to the masses, watch the unity rapture. This is for the kids and the culture. It's one love, one growth, one light, light warriors.
Volume and unity. Divine light shining individually, collectively transforming community. Peace in our human family. Volume and unity. Divine light shining individually, collectively transforming community. Peace in our human family. Volume and unity. Divine light shining individually, collectively transforming community. Peace in our human family.
Big shout out to everybody listening in, tuned in to QSJRadio.com. Special guest today, the Light Warriors. Before that, I am your host, Traffic Light. If you guys want to call me Dave, Traffic, the GOAT, whatever the hell it is, you know, we here for that. I just want to give a special shout out to the Light Warriors for coming in. At least 3 of their 100 members, really just 7, are going to come in here, and you'll see the screen flip for those who are watching, and those who have audio that probably won't matter to you. But anyways, inspired by a survival of joy within the current onslaught on negativity, Light Warrior channels the subtitle realms in every note and bringing love and action, blending rock, funk, reggae with global indie sensibilities. I hope I said that right. To create a unique and familiar boundaryless sound. Originally formed as a solo project in 2006 by Eric Rabaska. He's a guitarist in Vox. Vox, is that an instrument?
Fox's vocals, baby.
His vocals, okay. Good looking in New York City. Listen, man, I'm new to this stuff. Nah.
It's all good, man. I'll walk you through it.
Light Warriors has originally grown to organically grown to 7 members, with Stephen John Baptiste at drums, Chris Brewer at sax, Jamar Jabari at percussion and vocals, Herm Mayer at keyboards, Angel Sanchez at bass, and guest percussionist Marcus Schwartz, who all believe we can achieve the no more division in their sing-along urges. So, Eric, I know that you've been a part of this for a very long time. What is this no more division? What is this mission right there?
Yeah, sometimes, media is so negative, and people only hear negativity first, so sometimes you got to stop them with a double negative. So no more division is really just a plea to the world for enough of this, because we're all born naked, we all die, we all bleed red, we're all really from the single source of DNA, Ethiopia, the land of origins. And the truth is that the differences that the media creates and the algorithms create for us, and the differences of opinion, only feed the extremes. The truth is that that's a real small percentage of the entire population of the world. And so, we really believe that the differences between us aren't that great. And music being the universal language and the healer and the ultimate communicator, that's our vehicle.
Big shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening in. Eric Robaska, the lead guy here, right? This is, everybody calls you a genius from your bandmates, at least. We have Steven JB is here with us. Thank you so much, Steve, for eating dinner with us on the side. And if you guys didn't know, pasta and salmon is a thing. I love it. You gotta eat. And Jamar is basically the guy that put this all together. He didn't want to be selfish, and he went and got the crew. So shout out to you, Jamar, for coming here and talking to us. How did this get together, Eric? How did the Light Warriors first start? And I really want to know when you believe the old Light Warriors fell apart. I want to know that part too.
Sure. It started really as a singer-songwriter project, and I figured at the time I was doing a lot of meditation and a lot of introspection. I was in a transition. I'm a little bit older. I'd had a career in corporate America, and I was coming out of that, and I needed healing because not that everybody doesn't need healing, but I really just wanted to find some peace. And music has always been that vehicle. So a lot of the topics that I talk about are healing, spirituality, and I put together a record just because I had to do it. I didn't have any plan. I didn't have any dream of making something bigger than it was. I just wanted to make some music. And so I put together that first record, Survival of Joy, in 2015. I think I released it early 2016. And then people said, "This is great. You gotta get out there." And I needed a band sound to really cover the depth of the music, because there's a lot of layers on the recordings. So I had started to use a lot of gig guys, professional giggers, guys who are just ridiculous musicians, studied it in school, play every day. I had a couple of combinations that stuck together for a little while, but I really had to roll 3 to 4 deep in every position: drums, bass, guitar, keyboards, because you never knew who was available or who was touring. So that went on for a couple of years. And then I would say in 2017, 2018, I did Raise the Frequency. Had a little bit of help on that. Got a really amazing well known in the recording industry mixer to actually mix validation for me. So
wow,
because this guy works with the top of the line. Yeah, and he didn't have to take my project, and he can pick and choose basically.
Yeah.
So really kind soul, and I learned a lot through that process. And then I had a short-term lineup that lasted a handful of months. And then, one person moved to California and somebody else went to school somewhere, and it was just
Wow.
like impossible to keep a band together. Meanwhile, by between 2015 and 2018, I probably did like 200 gigs, whether it was solo or whether it was with bands and stuff. So I was gigging like mad, because this is ultimately live music. When we talk about the subtle realms, the subtle realms is that energy between people who are receiving and people who are giving, and ultimately we give to each other. If the audience isn't reacting, there's no way I can give back. It's going to be like a really stale vibe in the room. But so the combination of people on stage needs to be really linked, really unified in order to help elevate the spirits of everybody, which is ultimately what we're about. How do we unify people? So I would say, to answer your question, this is kind of a long-winded startup, but to answer your question on when it fell apart in 2018, early 2018 for me, because I got sick of dealing with people canceling on me at the last minute, and I was just burnt out after a few years of that. So I started doing performing these songs solo at open mics, which is where I met Steve and Jamar, and particularly Angel Sanchez. All those guys were in a band called Southwind Social Club. Shout out to Southwind, we love you guys. Really good cats. They're playing funk, soul, Afrobeat, a little bit of reggae, which is kind of what our ultimate vibe is. We mix a lot of different styles and blend them all together. So we got to know each other over a handful of these open mics. What was the name of that? It was Arch Street. Yeah, shout out to Arch Street, because if it wasn't for Arch, if it wasn't for Arch Street,
Crew.
Two Ball Crew, yeah. Big shout out to those guys, because if it wasn't for those guys, I never would have met the current band. And Angel came to me in like middle of 2018. He said, I like what you're doing. I want to get involved. And he and I would trek into Brooklyn with a drummer, play at this tiny little restaurant for like 3 or 4 months at a time, every Friday night or every Saturday night. And fast forward to 2018, that situation kind of dissipated, and Steve and Jamar and Chris had a gig at Three Sheets in New Haven, and the rest over the last few years is, I guess they say, history. We got
New Haven,
together,
Connecticut, correct?
That's right. New Haven, Connecticut.
Okay.
And we did that gig, and
Home of the Bulldogs.
Oh, nice.
The Mecca of pizza.
Trivia.
What?
We're getting trivia now. Yeah, that's true. New Haven has the best pizza in the country, apparently.
What? Question mark in my head.
I know it's hard. I know it's hard to believe, but even people from New York come all the way from New York to New Haven specifically for their pizza.
Big shout out to everybody listening in. Tune in to QSJ Radio. Supposedly, we are talking about pizza now. No. No, believe it or not, like, I know a little bit of that Connecticut history because that's when I first started my grind. It was going towards Hartford, New Haven, Stamford. I did see something that we're going to talk about because I guess you guys performed at one of their big live events. It looks like a week ago.
Yeah, last month. Yeah.
That's nice. That's really nice, and we'll talk about that here in a second. So now, Stephen, JB, Jamar, when Big E comes up to you guys and talks about forming a band and getting together, you guys got to like question mark in your head. I don't know. Did you know already about Eric, or did you catch a vibe? Well, whoever first.
Well, I'll go first. I was seeking Eric out because I wanted to learn more about, and this is everything I asked for in trying to like grow as an artist and a musician is exactly what I'm like learning off of just being under Eric. I got to say that just off the bat. I love the experience. Even when there's times, because I had to fall back and learn more, and I'm still learning more. You're always going to keep learning to this day. Even all the greats still take practice lessons all the time, 24/7. And that's the type of growth and understanding that I felt I wasn't getting where I was at. And it automatically captivated me to also be a part of it. And I also was a fan of Eric's music as well too. Before I even joined, I was listening to his music before that, and I was like, wow, it's just amazing. Because when I heard him sing the songs at Arch Street, I was like, yo, this shit is fire. Why the fuck I don't know about this? I'm a music guy. Like, I'm just like, I always try to keep in the local scene, you know? Like, I run open mics and stuff like that now. I've been trying to build and do open mics for years, and I finally am in a place to do that. So when I first met Eric and then I heard his music, I was it always stayed in my mind. And then later forward to Lord, because I'm new to my best friend that's the horn player. I was like, Chris, let's jam with Eric, let's vibe with Eric, let's see what's going on with Eric. And that's how we ended up joining Light Warriors.
Yo, E, did you know all that?
I did not. This is the first time I'm actually hearing it.
Yeah, because I was hearing in your
wow.
voice like,
Love
wow.
you guys, man. I love you, man. So thank you, Jamar.
I know. Steve is probably like, I just wanted to join a band. Right? Like, no.
How did you know my answer?
Stop
No, to
playing.
be honest, because it really is like that simple. Like Jamar said, he's just trying to learn as much as possible and play with more people, so then you could, keep like sharpening your skills, sharpening your craft and all that stuff. And naturally, I'm just like a drummer. Like, I play with anybody. I'll go to any open jam. I wouldn't like join a band like that fast, but like playing with Eric wasn't like joining a band. It was just like playing with a friend. So over time, it turned into a band, just like the way Southland Social that we was with before, it turned into a band because we was playing with friends. And then we just built chemistry. So I guess most of the people that we were around just had this chemistry, and it just gravitated towards whoever we ended up around. And Eric kind of had his own niche going when we was building this chemistry at the same time. So it was like a momentum shift. That's how I seen it. But it wasn't like, oh, I don't even think Eric said, can you be in my band? I never got like an invitational like that. It was just like a gravitation thing. Like we just started playing with each other, and then there was opportunities here and there. It's like, can you play with me here? Yeah, sure. I'm open, whatever, why not? And now this is where we at.
I was real scared to commit actually at that time too, because I'd had all those really good experiences, because you're always playing is always a great experience, but to kind of do the constant band shuffle, I was like, do I really want to do this? But I love these guys, and we really have a great chemistry, as Steve was talking about. And I remember one gig that I had where it was through Arch Street Collective, and it was, I think, at the someplace in Greenwich. And we were, I had brought up my nephew and his friend. They play in other bands, and we were just a trio. And we did this one song called "The Sounding of the Trumpets." And I remember Steve like kind of hanging on the side, and this is one of those songs with a lot of movements. And when we hit the first movement after the main group, Steve was like, "Whoa!" Like he just had this really joyful expression. And I only know it because he was like right in my line of sight when I was playing. When we hit the middle section, which is crazy, I just saw his eyes light up, and I was like, there's somebody who gets it. That's fucking awesome, man. So I was like, yeah, let's play together and just see where it goes. And it's evolved. It's evolved really organically, really naturally.
So I see that
Dave, Sounding of the Trumpets is a sick fucking song. You gotta listen to that when you get a chance.
Sounding of the Trumpets. Got it.
Thick fucking song.
All right. Eric's #1 fan is in the building. Did you guys know that? Shout out to that. Did you hear that? That was crazy. Wow. Thank you for that, guys. So you guys are forming up 12 months before we were all about to go crazy over not being left outside. Right? Get inside. Don't do the live thing. What did you guys do to try to keep a name alive? Because now the band looks different. Now the band is going somewhere else with it. What did you guys do to try to keep that momentum? And then when everything would slowly open back up, how would you get back together?
Yeah,
I'm gonna let y'all answer that because I have a different.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll start it off, and then we'll kick it to the guys. We had recorded. We had spent a week in February of 2020 recording just before lockdown, and then we had a couple of gigs. You know, I remember we were thinking about canceling 2 gigs the weekend right before they announced lockdown. Remember that, Steve? We were like, we played a couple of local gigs. We played one here, and we did one out in Bayshore. We had like a Friday and a Saturday. Friday in Norwalk, Connecticut, and a Saturday in Bayshore, Long Island. And they were both really cathartic gigs because we didn't know when we get a chance to do it again, you know? It was wild, and the vibes are really strong on both of those gigs. So I don't know that any of us consciously talked about how do we survive a pandemic. You know, we just lived through it. The next thing that came up was was the Juneteenth version that we released of an earlier mix of One. And we did that to raise money, you know, because that was in the wake of all the Black Lives Matter protests that summer, you know, and we raised money for NAACP Legal Defense Fund and a lesser-known organization called the Brotherhood Sister Soul, who train the next generation of leaders in urban centers and really, you know, pick out the best and train them and raise them up through you know, education and really good community service and everything. So really great organizations that we were proud to donate, you know, 100% of our sales to. We didn't, you know, we raised as much as we could, but, you know, we're not superstars or anything, but we have a service element, you know.
Still, yes.
And we're all really, you know, I mean, Jamar's, you know, his other profession is activism. So, you know, we have that in our DNA. We really care about doing the right thing and being with the times and just trying to be on the right side of history.
The right side of history. Which version is that? Is it on?
That's only on Bandcamp. We did a Bandcamp only version because. So that's on. It's called the Juneteenth version.
It's called the Juneteenth version,
and it's a different. Yeah, it's a different mix. We actually strengthened the mix a little bit. We had a short period of time to get it done.
Okay.
So it was just really to raise money and try and support the cause. But the Book of One that came out earlier this year, we took that mix and we made it a lot stronger.
Big shout out to everybody listening. If you just tuned in, we have the Light Warriors in built-in. Half or 2/3 of their team. I don't know math. Eric, Steven, Jamar in the building. Steve, what was your perception of what was going on during pandemic as a musician and part of Light Warriors?
That's kind of hard to answer because when the pandemic was happening, I barely knew it was happening. Like everything was just moving smoothly. Yeah, there was like a lot of stuff going on with the media and people around me is like, oh, this is going on, or this is what people are saying, or wear your mask, or we can't do this and we can't do that. But I was still playing like everywhere. So I was working regularly. I was, you know, playing with the Light Warriors and with Southland Social Club. I was going to open jams and stuff like that, or whatever was available. So the pandemic didn't really do much to me, but I know when it comes to our gigs and as a collective, we, like Eric said, we didn't have like a conversation about how we were going to get through it. We just lived through it, and whatever happened happened. Like we took it one day at a time. We talked to each other whenever anything came up, any current events that came up that might get in the way of anything we're doing. We would just talk to each other in the group chat and make sure that we're all like on one page. So like when you ask the question, I'm sitting here like, what am I going to answer? Because I can't even remember.
Wow. Yeah.
The whole transition
of
how everything changed.
I feel it. And Jamar, the activist. I know this basically was you basically said I have a different perception. So, what was it like? You know, and knowing that you were part of a team that could make a difference.
Look, man, March, when we first went in lockdown, that's what really struck a chord for me. I was in quarantine for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And it changed a lot of my mindset. It made me I was like dealing with depression. All this stuff was flaring up. And the only thing that was a saving to me was meeting this beautiful woman that I am still with right now. And we are like this and stuff like that. Like she literally helped me get through the darkness. Yeah, the band, we were just, we were like, oh, I don't think we're gonna do this gig, I don't think we're gonna do that. And I was just like, I need to stay focused on this band. I need to make sure that I know this music and all this stuff. And it was just dark. It was dark in the beginning. 2020, for everybody in America, definitely will say 2020 was fucked.
Yeah.
Just fucked up.
With the election on top of the pandemic, Jesus, George Floyd.
A lot of shit happened, and I'm sorry for cursing. I didn't mean to curse.
Nah, you good. I think I say a few swears here and there. I think I do.
Keeping it real.
It's all good. This is so, it's so crazy because a lot of you guys don't know, and I know a lot of people in the chat don't know, but there's a lot of backgrounds in this band right now. Not everybody grew up the same or even have the same lifestyle, and they're making this work. So yeah, keeping it 100 is basically, your guys' main focus anyway. So go ahead, do your thing. It was crazy. It was nuts. I couldn't even believe it. Social media was not supposed to do this, right? It wasn't supposed to do this.
No, and I'll tell you, like I was actually at the forefront of social media marketing back in like 2005, 6, 7, because I was working in an agency, one of those media agencies. I was part of it. Called the Word of Mouth Marketing Association.
Okay.
And I don't even think the band knows this, but I actually wrote the ethics clause in the influencer guidelines for national outreach to influencers. Now, back then, influencers weren't posers. Influencers were not people who were, just flashing their tits and, smiling and throwing out some bullshit, live your life on a smile and be positive only. That's a whole bunch of fucking bullshit.
It is.
Real influence was thought leaders and engaging on content on a deep way. Engaging in how do we build community? How do we really do it? How do we listen to each other in a way that allows us to get to know each other so that we can just see each other? And then that brings the healing, right? So I was stuck in corporate America, front lines of what is now become a complete and total shitstorm. It was a soul killer for me. I actually wrote a song called "Industry Soul Killer" that a reference to the, yeah, exactly. It's really about the military industrial complex, but it does reference the advertising complex.
Fire! Go stream that. Like, fucking crazy. Right? Yo, let's do that real quick. Let's take a quick break. Let's take a quick break real quick and introduce the Wanda Juneteenth version. And we'll get back to you guys here in a sec.
Let your breath flow like water. Drink in the nourishment so balance don't falter. Walk in creation as all gods on your altar. Like rocks of Gibraltar, we stand strong yet softer. We foster upgrades, reprogram your DNA, shine light in your airways, release you from your learned ways. We see you hardened by swordplay as we decode the haze. When lost in the maze, we help you climb towards volume of unity. Divine light shining individually, collectively transforming community. Peace in our human family. Listen, hear the wailing of the ancients. It's cellular memory emitting purity over hatred, embodying patience over billions of years. When living like a vagrant, spirits in arrears. Fear is what the governments are peddling. They're in your face, they're in your ears, they're misguided and meddling. Don't be settling, our love's continually spreading to all corners of the earth. Foundations are settling. Volume of unity. Divine light shining individually, collectively transforming community. Peace in our human family. Volume of unity. Divine light shining individually, collectively transforming community. Peace in our human family.
As above, so below. Feel the pain in my soul. The red pill dissolved. Organized, no matter the cost. Politicians start wars, they don't fight, they sit the poor. And nothing lasts forever as long as we stay together. Give hell to the masses, watch the unity rapture. This is for the kids and the culture. It's one love, one growth, one light. Light warriors.
Volume of unity. Divine light shining individually, collectively transforming community. Peace in our human family. Volume of unity. Divine light shining individually, collectively transforming community. Peace in our human family. Volume of unity. Divine light shining individually, collectively transforming community. Peace in our human family.
Yes.
For everybody just tuned in, that is the Juneteenth version available on Bandcamp right now. You guys should be seeing it on the chats. If you guys are not, don't worry. We'll definitely drop that for you guys later on. The link tree is also on the description of this live video if you guys want to follow them on Instagram and all those special places.
We're trying to get to 1,000.
We're trying to get to
Almost
1,000.
there.
Let's go.
Almost
Let's
there.
go. Organically, by the way.
Yes, not paid.
Nice. That's a little rough, but whatever.
It's just brutal. You know, the industry wants to see like 10,000, 12,000, 20,000 people before they even talk to you. And what they don't realize is most of those people have bought those engagements.
And you know, I talked to a manager on Tuesday about things like that, and you know, not once has the guy talked to me about social media. You know, he didn't talk to me about like where an artist should be in his social media ranks. It was just crazy. But when you try to pitch your band, you know, they won't talk to you unless you're viral. And it's like, how do you go viral?
You know, it's all marketing, man. It's all that stuff that I used to do. All the biggest brands in the world use the same methods, and you have to have money.
It
That's
is
really what
it
comes
is
down to.
money all day.
all money.
I be
all
mad
money.
broke.
Yeah.
Well, like, come on, man.
Bunch of copycat.
And then I'm over here. I'm asking for sponsors. I'm like, yo, $6. I will name your name brand, and nobody's $6. I'm just
They'll
asking
spend
for
more than-
$6.
More than $6 at Chick-fil-A, like it's nothing. So
For real, like,
I know what you mean.
can I please?
I know what you
Jeez,
mean.
it's ridiculous.
I'm laughing because I'm feeling this. I literally am feeling this right now. Like,
it's not.
A tea company that got fire ass tea. I was like, yo, just like $50. $50. I'll throw it on my podcast. I'll do a whole beautiful
Yo, right?
setup for y'all and everything.
Right? Oh, you know, cause you're a
50 bucks.
podcaster. Well, you know this because it's like, yo, I will say lovely. My viewers, they, oh, come on, man. But anyways, that's a whole different grind. It's a whole
It is,
different
man.
grind.
It's constant though, like that's part of the game. And so like I think it has to, there's this notion of what success is, right? Like how do we think about what is success? To us, success is what we've already achieved, like we've got organic growth, we're playing good gigs, we're playing big gigs, we keep growing, we keep learning, and we're making what we think is really good music that hopefully people will think about and engage with and feel on a spiritual level, on a social level, and just vibe for hopefully years to come. It's a slow build, and every ear is a blessing. Anybody who gives us time, because everybody's just getting anybody's attention is impossible today.
Yeah.
There's too many options.
I know you probably saw that post. You probably were like, "What is he talking about?" Well, I get mad. It's not support for the Light Warriors. It's support with the others, and I'm like, so you weren't there. Just to let you know, I got another one. Right? It's like you weren't there. I got another one. And yeah, I saw the comment where it was like any ear is. He's bringing it back. He got them comedians in him, man. That's how you bring stuff back. Like, you remember? That was me.
Yeah. At the risk of sounding like like a hippie, which I'm not. But but at the risk of sounding like a hippie,
I was gonna say that. Like, you guys are modern day hippies? No, but
not at all. No, man.
Let me clarify.
Because and yeah, actually, exactly to Steve's point, we're gonna clarify because I think hippies are just seeking escape, and we're seeking truth and reality.
Okay.
But so at the risk of sounding like a hippie, there is something that happens with intention and with positive energy. When we let go of expectation and just do and be, things actually happen. Things happen naturally. And this past year is a testament to that, because the gigs that we got, the amazing gigs. Hope Rocks Festival up in Saugerties, New York.
Bitter End.
Bitter End in New York City. The Bijou Theater in Bridgeport, Connecticut, to start off our touring this year. And the biggest one of all, which is the local that happened in Stamford, Connecticut, opening for John Baptiste. All that happened without us having to seek it. All of that came to us.
Nice.
That's
nice.
Like you just keep doing your thing, man, and it's gonna happen. So don't worry about.
Oh, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I don't care. I'm gonna just flip out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got high blood pressure. Like, I'm gonna be good.
High blood pressure crew.
And no, but see, everybody got their passions, right? And my passion is just, just deep into the human story, because we all have these things, right? The whole thing that happened in 2020 that was not everybody worried about public health, was worried about what they believed in, is a real thing. Like, there is a lot of different minds out there, and I'm one to understand a lot. I'm big shout out to Lori in the chat telling me to lay off the salt. I'm going to have chips. So
it's hard.
I love you though. I'm just I hope she knows I'm playing. I hope she knows. She doesn't know what I'm playing. But anyways, like, there's so much minds out there. So my little thing is just, tell people stories and try to understand them. I'm not going to side with everybody. I'm not going to, I think the only mission that everybody forgets that we have as humans is surviving, because it doesn't really matter if it's, a religion, a race, or even, scientifically. We're all just trying to survive. The end goal is to find out where did this all start, and can we find peace when we do find it. And I don't like to get that little deep because a lot of people are like, you're crying, and I'm like, look, I need to cry right now. I need to let out those parts of me through other humans, and it's I hope I sound like I make sense, but
Totally, man.
Yeah.
No, you just
Everybody's got the right to
resonating with.
heal.
Oh, look, man.
Go ahead, Steve. Sorry.
I think the same way, Dave.
I'm telling you, man, I be feeling so bad when I step on an ant. No, I don't. But the thing is, it's like there's other creatures. This I do for real. But I do. It's just other creatures on this earth. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm a modern day hippie or stuff like that because it's not. I'm just trying to really understand where us as a species believe that we are the only ones that are supposed to survive here, right? Like those are things like there's very selfish beings that we have become, regardless of kind of background or stories or destinies people are trying to have. It's very, very selfish, and it's okay. I'm not trying to tell you not to be, but I need to hear those stories, and I'm hearing it through you guys right now. But I just want to know, this is a question for Eric, and of course it's going to go towards the band, is why do we need so many remixes? Like, that's, I got to know this part, because now I know there's a lot of collaborations going on in there, which is really lovely, but why so many? Why are we stuck on one?
Yeah, the power of oneness, right? I mean, that's the simplest answer I can give you. There are many, and you said it yourself. There's lots of stories, lots of perspectives, and oneness isn't just about human oneness. It's about oneness with the earth, oneness with your God, oneness with the spirit, oneness with the universe, energetic oneness. We talked a little bit about that earlier. How do you create that real time vibe together that gives people an experience and gives them some healing? So the project, we got a lot of people involved because it was a benefit for Why Hunger. For those who don't know Why Hunger, their mission is nutritious food is a human right. Not just any crap that anybody can make and produce and get through the supply chain, but real nutritious food. And so that's about self-determination. It's about a lot of things, obviously. And they have been an organization for like 50 years almost. Yeah. Co-founded by a folkie named Harry Chapin. So I think he was a hippie, and so we won't judge him. But
you know what? It's okay, right?
But I love hippies, man. I do.
I do really too, man. I do. It's crazy.
I know I'm giving hippies a hard time, but I love them. But yeah, so Harry Chapin co-founded this organization, and I got. Actually, if it wasn't for hippies, I probably wouldn't be involved in this. I was involved in a networking group based around the Grateful Dead. And I'm not even the biggest Grateful Dead fan, but as they called Wall Street Dead Ahead, really good group of people, kind people in the system, on the front lines, trying to make the right decisions, trying to do good, real collaborations and kind of buck the evil Wall Street trend, like there's good and bad on all sides in every situation. And so you can't have yin without yang. And you've got to be able to find like the middle ground in order to move things forward. So anyway, Why Hunger was something that the band really believed in. And a lot of the artists that we asked to be involved with, they basically donated their time. All of them did, actually, because they knew that it was charity-based. And how do we raise awareness around this really great cause? Because talk about oneness. If we aren't one with the earth, climate change is going to destroy all the good soil that makes the food that nourishes the body. And we can't, none of us can live without food and water. And so if everybody in the world can't get behind making that better and politicize this climate change bullshit, and block changes for that, then we're fucked. Humanity is completely fucked. So, yeah, we talk about a lot of issues and a lot of different perspectives of oneness, and I think that's why we have all these different versions.
Big shout out to that. Shout out to E. I call him E. I'm calling him Eric, and it's Rabaska, right? Rabaska?
Rabaska.
Yeah. I'll say it like that. So you guys are mentioning Connecticut a lot, which is really, really cool. I know. Are you guys based out of New York City?
No,
Mm.
no. I used to be, but no, we're Connecticut. We're between.
Shout
where
out
are
to
we?
CT. Okay, I got you.
CT, yeah,
All right.
yeah.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
said, "Where are we?"
Stanford to New Haven, Stanford, New Haven, Bridgeport.
Yeah.
We're all over. Shoreline.
Fairfield County,
I love it. I
basically. Yeah,
love
that's
it. I
right.
love it. I love it. So last month, Stanford's biggest event, Live at 5, an outdoor event, that came back, and you guys were out there, performing. I used to do events there. I know it gets
Amazing.
lovely. It's
Yeah.
it gets beautiful. It
I'm
gets,
so jealous I missed.
no way you missed it.
I'm so jealous. I had to work.
Oh my
I missed, but I
god.
saw all the pictures. I saw the video. I was like, oh man.
Live at 5, I don't know, but that's different from a nightclub or a band indoor setting. How was that for those guys who went?
Go ahead,
I
Steve.
let um I've ever since I heard about Live at 5, I've been going like for the past 2 years, and this Live at 5, we kind of kicked it off, and it was like in a new location because Stanford, they built this whole new park, so they had a bigger stage than the usual Live at 5s, which are like
Wow.
closer to the
To the
bars.
clubs and the
So
bar.
now,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, so now they made a park literally just for that venue, so it could fit way more people now, and um, it just looked like a whole bigger experience. So
Whew.
being the first band to kick it off this year on that type of stage was just like monumental. It reminded me of, like, I go to a lot of music festivals, so it was almost like going to a governor's ball or like an Afro punk. It was a stage like that. So to be on that stage in the hometown that we're from, well, I'm from Stanford, so is Eric. So to be there on that stage was just like, there was no words. So,
Hometown stuff right there. Wow.
mm,
Wow.
It was epic.
It
was
had
really
to
epic.
be. It had to be. I gotta see something. I gotta see something. I gotta see this stuff because
It's on YouTube, baby.
I went to yeah. If you guys please go ahead, follow Light Warriors on YouTube, all social medias. They're available, and they're hoping to get 1,000 follows. So hit them up. The Live at 5 was crazy. Is my brother used to DJ in Stanford. I think he still does, and he was like, just to let you know, Third Eye Blind's coming to town, right? And I'm like, I'm out, right?
yeah.
So I'm out. It was like instant, right? And so I get the chance to get in because I'm acting like staff, and it was when Live at 5 was around the bars, and
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool, boom. I had the camera. I'm over here acting all, and then Third Eye Blind comes on, and I'm like, I lose it, right? Because it's like whatever. But if you guys are saying they set it up way different, and it was already crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yo, did they let you have a solo?
The jealousy that's growing in.
Bruh, I want to know if Steve had a solo. Like,
No, I
Oh.
didn't have a solo. I had a percussion moment with the other percussionist, Marcus, in No More Division, but I didn't have a solo. I'm glad I didn't have
okay.
a solo.
But y'all had like
That's too much.
yo, you was
That's way too much pressure for me. Way too much pressure for me. I'm just
You
gonna
know
keep
they
the
always
rhythm,
give it. They always give it to somebody.
throw a little razzle dazzle. That's true. They always give the drummer some solos, but
true.
I've been talking to the band about not doing that, so I'm glad that they're with me with that.
Okay. Okay.
We're fully
But
It's
you
coming,
can do
though.
it though. You're a beast, man. We call you the Pocket King. He's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Pocket
it's coming.
King.
It's coming.
That's nice. That's
He'll
nice.
get plenty of solos on big stages.
I'm telling you.
This gig was such a miracle that it even happened because the way to get it is an online application. So who knows how many hundreds or even thousands of bands applied. We got the email like 2 weeks ahead of the gig. They said you've made the finals. And I'm like, all right, whatever, you know. Is this for real? Is this bullshit?
Yeah,
it's an email.
It's an email. Those are like spams. Wow.
We're just like, whatever.
So and then they say it's gonna go to a selection committee, and we're like, I was just like, whatever. I wasn't banking on it. But we did secure the date to make sure most of us can make it because it was short notice. And then the week before we get, hey, you guys are in. The artist has chosen you, and he chose us because of one. And I think one really resonates with him because John Baptiste himself, his latest album is ridiculous. He's singing about oneness, and he gets up and preaches, and like he's saying stuff on stage to the audience that, and Steve and I looked at each other like, wait a minute. That's the shit that I say on stage, you know? It's like so all jealous. The same stuff, you know.
Like, was he watching this?
I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't there.
We've been saying this
and
for
John
years.
Baptiste is a problem. John Baptiste is freaking nasty. When I saw this video, he was pulling out like mad different instruments. Like I was like, what?
Yeah, there's not an instrument he can't play. He played, I think, the sax, the guitar, the piano, the melodica. I mean, he was killing that night, and it was so inspiring to watch him and his band. Like, it really gave us a jolt. We were blessed to be a part of that. That was amazing.
That's
truly
cool.
Amazing experience.
Especially that it all happened because of the 17,000 remixes you got. No, let me stop. I'm not trying to play. These songs are lovely. These songs are
have you
lovely.
Listened?
Yeah, I got them all. I'm about to play one of my favorites right now.
All right.
Of love and an understanding, there was so much test and stress, and still some of us we don't want to confess. Love in the spirit reveals in the heart of flesh. Love is surreal. Our heart we can feel. Time will reveal. Nothing can conceal. For love is real, 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 real. Love is surreal. Yeah. That you're looking for is a peace that you really, really want. All you're really searching is it really so hard to find. Jalo, Jalo. All you're really searching is it really so hard to find. You deny my religion, find my philosophy, created an illusion of a perfect society. Then you say I'm disillusioned. There's no power in the Trinity, and you've come to this conclusion. But I know that love will be my destiny. Love is so real.
Shout to Sydney Salmon. Ethiopia.
Sydney's a real interesting guy, man. He's a repatriated Jamaican via America to Ethiopia, and
What? Say that again? Like
he's he's a repatriated Jamaican via America, where he actually worked on Wall Street for a short period of time, I think, and then in Rastafarian, repatriation's a big thing, right? You want to go back to the motherland, and so. He actually did it, and he landed in Shashamane, and they've got community. Like, talk about building community. He's building community there, and Rastafarianism. He's 12 tribes of Israel. Rastafarianism has got a lot of different strands of factions, and he's a golden rule guy. Treat others as you want to be treated. I was lucky enough to meet him in early 2018 when I went to Ethiopia myself for a delegation. There was like 70 people from around the world, spiritual leaders, musicians, activists, and we did some peace work and some goodwill humanitarianism. Went all over the country and did a concert in Addis Ababa. And I'll tell you this crazy story, man. We the organization that sponsored it was called Unity Earth. And we were doing a concert called U Day, and you could be anything, United, Universal, whatever you want to apply to the U.
Yeah.
That's an older concept from like 2012. But in 2018, when we were in Addis Ababa, in the middle of the concert, it started pouring rain, and so a couple of days earlier, we were in the north of Ethiopia where it was bone dry, like they hadn't had rain in ages. And one of the indigenous elders from the Americas here, a woman named Lila June, who actually did the second one on the Book of One, she, along with some indigenous elders, made we did a rain prayer in this airport, and people were looking at like, who are these 70 people? Like, we had Buddhist monks. We had Sufi. We had all different religions represented. It was a really like rainbow coalition of people, and it was a beautiful, beautiful experience. I mean, I imagine traveling with 70 people for a week and not having any arguments or any disagreements.
That's too much love right there. Like,
it's all love. It was all love, and it was an experience that really inspired me. So we did this rain prayer. And then, 2 nights later, we're in Addis Ababa in the middle of the concert. The energy is rising, 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 and it starts to pour rain in the middle of the concert. There was no rain in the forecast for weeks. I don't want to say that we did it, but man, there's something to this energy thing. And there's something to positive intention, So that was a real tremendous. I still get inspired by it. I still get chills when I tell the story.
You got that had a chills and cries. That had a.
Yeah, it was beautiful. The people were so like the people who live in Ethiopia, who and a lot of it's a very international city, Addis Ababa, but the folks who live there were all just like, wow. Rain, holy shit, it's like raining. This is amazing. It was the most amazing thing for folks, and a lot of that type of energetic intention, we talk about channeling the subtle realms. That's what we try to do. I mean, on whatever small level we the bands, like we vibe with each other on the highest frequency of love, and when we are all aligned and our lives are in a position where we can all like hit that level together without having to, sometimes we got to support each other and get there together. We don't always hit the note, but we try to. And when it happens like that, man, it is magic. It is pure magic. So Sydney was one of the cats that I met on that trip, along with Lila June and Kwadwo Spirit from Ghana.
Wow.
Really wonderful people.
Wow. Big shout out to everybody listening. If you're just tuning in, Light Warriors is here with us. We have 3 members with us. We got Eric with Jamar and Steven. And we've been talking about a lot of things. Wow, these guys got some.
Let me tell you, Dave. That is. I didn't talk to Eric and stuff. And it's just so big to me as well, because I am a Pan-Africanist. I am a big supporter of returning back to the motherland and bringing back our people back to the motherland and everything. and just knowing that he has so much of the experience like that, and just met all these incredible people. It speaks so much volumes of just how important and the vibe is with the music. It's like, honestly, I believe in reincarnation. I feel like Eric and everybody that I am like fucking with right now is like I knew them in the past life. I'm getting too deep. Sorry.
Nah, we good. Like,
it's vibe.
All I say is I don't smoke. That's it. That's all I'm saying. But yeah. That's all I could.
We're raising the vibrations.
This is nice. This is nice. There's nothing that I could tell you, man. This is really nice. And the crazy thing is like, even before we spoke, even before you guys are telling me these stories, I already was feeling this. I think I was telling you guys that you could tell this is just one way, full power positivity. So it bugs me out when I find out that at one time this wasn't all what it was. You know, there was just too much, or people, you know, and I get it. You got to find the right people. They got to find the right tribe. Yeah. We talked about that. We talked about that a lot yesterday on our show, finding the right tribe.
Yeah. But, you know, there's something to be said. Yeah, something to be said for perseverance, and when you do find your tribe, to hopefully and just show that it's not so hard. For, you know, we've got lyrics like how opposites come together. You know, people. You talked earlier about we're all from different backgrounds. You know, we're all from different. I'm an Xer. I'm a Gen Xer. You know, so I'm an older cat. And we're different generations, and we're making it happen, you know, and it's just good feelings, man. Like, I love these guys. You know, we've worked really hard to get to this point, even, and I feel like we're just getting started. You know, like, our best is still yet to come. You know, we got a whole other album that we're starting to work on, so it's we're gonna be done hopefully by early next year, and it's gonna be great.
There's a few questions I like to ask bands from Connecticut after meeting one band from Connecticut, but I'm gonna ask that here in a few minutes. What's going on next for Light Warriors?
So we just came off of like a summer of a lot of gigs, so we're taking a little bit of a break and resetting. Here's an interesting little story. The night before the Jean-Baptiste Alive at 5 in Stanford show was Hurricane Ida. So I had a gig, a different gig in the city. It took me 5 hours to get home. I get home at 2 a.m. to my basement studio, which was flooded, and you know, it only had a couple of inches of water on the ground, and thankfully none of the instruments or the gear, all the gear survived miraculously. But I couldn't get the door open, and I'm home at like 2 a.m. It took me 5 hours to get home, and we got the biggest gig of our collective career the next day, and it was just a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. I had to like take out all the rugs. I had to move the gear. It was
what?
So what's wild is like, we worked that hard. Like I think that moment for me personally was how hard everybody was working, because everybody works hard. Everybody's got jobs. Everybody's just trying to make ends meet, and it's hard in a pandemic. Like there's a lot of insecurity for Steve and Jamar, but I know their trials and tribulations just to get to just sometimes to get to rehearsals. So there's a lot of challenges we all overcome to make it work. But when we get together, regardless of how tired we are or whatever, there's just something magical that happens with this mix of people, and it's a real beautiful experience.
Big shout out to everybody listening. Yo, I'm
I heard the tell, and I heard what you were saying, but it came a little slow with me because my internet's being the ass. I apologize.
I'm gonna kill the video.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Hey, froze.
We suck.
Am I froze?
No, you're good. He just sounds like
Jamar's froze.
He's like ad-libbing over here. At what?
We good. Don't worry.
them horns.
So yeah. So what's next is like we got this.
I
we got a
kill
lot
for
of
those
music.
horns.
Yeah. Well, we could find the sample and we'll tell Herm to work that into his. When we do reggae covers, like we'll just have him set it off.
Oh yeah.
But we started recording this record February 2020, and then we got busy with gigs and pandemic and work and survival and all that. We did Book of One, which came out of those sessions. But we're gonna re-record a lot of the stuff because we're playing at the best we've ever played. So it's not gonna take us long to do this record. We just gotta set some time to get it done, and it's gonna be fire. Like everybody's really feeling the tracks.
I can't wait, man. Shout out to that. What? Let me find out. So
we'll give you an advanced look once it's
damn.
shareable form.
Yes, I'm on the list.
You're on the list, baby.
I'm on the list. I try to tell them. So Stanford. You guys see that black flag at the end of Boston Post Road that has a W? You guys know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I grew up seeing that flag.
Did you guys ever try to reach out to see if they would probably use your music?
No. I honestly don't know who it is. I try not to get out if I can help it. I work from home, so.
I'm trying to see which one of our songs would even be appropriate for that type of audience.
So I guess
Jamar.
What was it? I didn't hear it.
Jamar and Chris, they're definitely like really into that scene, so they would probably know how to get us incorporated with that.
Wait, repeat it. I had to
W.
fall back in.
Listen to what I'm saying, Stanford. Okay.
All right.
You go to the end of the Boston Post Road. You're going down the hill. You see this building with a black flag with a W. Did you ever reach out to them to say, yo, we got these tracks?
We have not, but we will.
No.
Yo, Steve, tell them what I'm talking about because I don't think they know.
Who is that?
He's
Are you
talking
talking about WWE?
Yes.
Oh, the WWE.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's right
Oh,
there. I can't.
Oh, wow.
You serious, bro? Like,
Sorry, man.
it's
I
like
stopped
the
watching
biggest-
wrestling when I was
Oh,
like 12.
Dave, it's all about the AEW. All right.
okay. Let's not. I didn't get in that conversation yet.
With them no more. It's all about the AEW
Fighting
guys.
words.
I'm
You
not.
threw it out there. man.
I didn't
That's what
have that
said.
combo yet.
Sorry, Vince McMahon.
I feel it, though.
Sorry, he's effing up.
I feel it. I
Yeah,
feel it
I
though.
was- Before it even turned into an E,
Tony
that's when I was
Khan.
done. I'm back when it
Tony
was an
Khan.
F, so.
Man,
I mean, they gave us memories, right? Yeah, they did. We got legends.
it's still the
Yeah,
talent.
I don't
I
know
was
that,
telling him,
I
I
don't
was
know
like-
that we got something that would fit that scene.
Yeah, that's why I'm like going through the track list in my head, like which one would be maybe the sounding of the trumpets
Maybe.
for like when this dude Randy Orton comes out or something like that. I don't know, maybe one day.
Certainly not loving the swing.
I mean, he go. Yo, no, you can't. You know what would be crazy? Oh my god! If you do a certain all right. So sounding of trumpets, if you do like the breakdown, the solo part, and then you go into like
The chaos.
I could see it happen. I can see wrestler coming out on that. Yeah. I can see wrestler coming out on that part and just tearing up, just killing everybody in the ring. I can see it.
All right. Remix
Hey
time.
man, it's
We
right
won't
there.
we won't do 9 of sounding of the trumpet though. That's like
It's.
8 minutes.
I'm just saying, it's right there. It's right there. You know? They got
Well, when
money.
we get it out on the next album, we'll see if we could chop it around that part of Stanford too.
Yeah.
I know.
It's
The,
good,
co-
good,
the other
good
side.
heads up on us, Dave.
The
Thank
other
you.
side. Yeah, I just, that's, it's lovely. Light Warriors in the building. Follow them on Instagram. They got a website. They do have a Sonic bid. If you guys want to follow their new music, the new album, Book of One, they have basically been touring with that for a little bit, and it's on Bandcamp right now. It's a supportive band stuff, right? And I want people to understand when Bandcamp versus a Spotify and stuff like that, like you guys are actually supporting the band versus supporting the website. So make sure you guys understand the difference to that.
Yep.
You know,
Bandcamp is that's where it's at, especially for independent artists.
yes. If you're an independent artist, you should have been on Bandcamp, but
Yeah,
you know,
SoundCloud's pretty good too. Actually, SoundCloud's revamped their payout structure.
nice.
So they really looked at what was going on with Spotify and they said we don't want to be that. So there was an announcement I think earlier this year about, I forget the specifics, but is significantly higher than any other platform right now, with the exception of Bandcamp. So.
Well, Bandcamp people are sending real money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They sending real money versus you know waiting on the stream. They are on Spotify. Don't get it twisted. They are on Spotify. They're on YouTube, Apple Music, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I like to play a little game, so we're gonna have to try to get you guys to figure out who's gonna answer first, second, or third question. Because there is 3 of you, unless you all want to answer the question individually. So this is called a fast round.
Okay.
We've now started our fast round, where our guests are asked a few questions about themselves that they wouldn't expect us to ask. Don't worry, it's not like that. Hope you didn't think we were that underground.
Oh
my God.
Yeah, it's about to get crazy.
Okay.
Sorry.
Should I be nervous? I'm feeling a little nervous suddenly.
Make
No.
laugh. That's what I want.
I'm gonna ask some funny questions. Nobody in my chat thinks these are funny. Okay. So they really don't, man. They be roasting me, and then I'd be mad at them later, and they'd be like, "Oh, you don't treat me right." Anyways, first question is cereal soup?
No.
Why or why not?
Nah, man, it's breakfast. It's cereal. It's like, it depends on the cereal. If it's Fruit Loops, that's poison. Although it's really tasty. Or Captain Crunch. Angel, our bass player, loves Captain Crunch, by the way. But if it's like the healthy stuff, you can get some real healthy stuff. You get the right milk and.
I've been hearing lately what soup really is. It's the hydrated food. That's what they call it. Hydrated food. Whatever.
I like a good soup when it's homemade though.
Hold on. Did like one of your viewers give you that question?
No, that's me. Like I'm telling you, they really do not like my questions. They don't tell me. They're roasting me right now. They're just going in right now on me. They're trying to play the nice guy game.
Do you think it's a soup?
I'm
because I could see like what you mean by that. Because
you see what I'm saying? So
yeah, I get.
And I'm not trying to agree or disagree with anybody, but I have had soup where there's milk in it, right? It's usually hot.
Yeah,
right?
I've heard of that too.
So soup is usually hot, but I have had cold Campbell's soup before, and when you put a bunch of stuff in the liquid, I think it's a soup.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Like it's different. Like when you got when you got the yogurt. Let me go to the next question. I forgot what's the name of that stuff they put like grain in yogurt. I forgot.
Granola.
Yeah, the granola and whatever. I don't know foods.
Granola soup.
They literally roasted me right now. All right.
Oh my God, I'm crying. I'm crying.
What is the sexiest and least sexiest name?
Ethan.
What?
Ethan,
like just
Ethan is
general
what?
name?
Sexy?
You mean
Ethan
just like?
is not sexy.
Ethan is not sexy. Okay.
Nah.
And what is?
The
The question is,
question
what
was
is the sexiest and the least sexiest?
Do you know why I say it's not the sexiest name? Because it means like nose or some shit in like German or something. I don't know. It's some European language that means nose.
It
Weird.
means nose.
Why would you name somebody nose?
Wow.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
Listen, man.
I think the sexiest name is Steven. And
Wow.
not the least sexiest name that I've ever heard was Bartholomew.
But okay. Bartholomew.
But I fucks with both of them, you know what I mean? But like, that's just me though.
All right.
Oh man.
Eric don't want to answer.
Yeah, you know, sexiest name, Rabaska.
Oh, like a demon.
I gotta go with my last name on that. Rabaska. You know, you gotta put
Only
the
'cause he
little
could.
because it's, you know, the Italians. You know what I'm saying? The least sexiest name, Moses.
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay.
Jesus. You know, I don't know.
I like
mean,
how
not
they
to-
stood at one side of a of a name. They stood on the guy's side because they're not fucking they shit up. That's what they were like. Nah, I'm good. All right.
No.
So no Ethans, no Bartholomews, and no
Moses.
no Moses.
No
Moses.
biblical names.
Can we-
Obviously.
Yo, I got a biblical name. Relax.
Eric, you gonna piss off the rosters for saying that.
I know they're gonna be mad at me,
Yeah.
but you know,
They know the
I know,
vibes, though.
man,
They know the
come on.
vibes. Let's get serious.
it's just a personal thing. It's not. I'm not. You know, I'm not blanketing. I'm not stereotyping. You know.
Say that to Moses Sumney.
I tell you right now,
well,
I've
he's
never,
badass.
I've
He's
never
great, but-
answered.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
I've never
He's pretty
answered.
Mad
But-
respect for Moses Sumney, but you know, I don't know.
Definitely.
Shout out
Let's
to
make him-
Moses.
I don't know. I'm sure the ladies like him, but whatever.
This guy getting us with these questions.
What secret conspiracy would you like to start?
So here we go. Jamar, go ahead.
Okay.
Why you gotta? Yeah, I've been on this alien thing for a while now.
Okay. What's up? You doing YouTube research? What you
Dude,
doing?
Like, I'm trying to see what the Pentagon gonna show, man. That's all I gotta say. Like, they've been teasing us. They show us one legit video, and now they're just like, we need more time. Like, come on.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all making me very, very excited for no reason.
I feel like
That
that's
Tic Tac video. Look, everybody, look up the Tic Tac video. That Tic Tac
TikTok.
video.
Tic Tac.
Yeah,
I don't know who's watching TikTok right now. But
Who's watching
like a-
Tic Tac?
it's like a unidentified spacecraft that literally looks like a Tic Tac.
Oh wait, so
and it's like fast as hell.
okay, all right.
Literally,
oh, I thought he meant like watching all TikTok. Or
just look it up.
Yeah,
This was caught by literally military people, the Air Force,
You see why I told Jamar to go?
Yeah.
That's the only
I
thing I'm
feel
thinking
it.
about right
I
now.
feel-
is
I feel
conspiracies.
you.
Other than
Yo,
that-
you know what though? You know what? I could mess with that, Jay. I'm gonna tell you why. Because, and even though I don't want to start a conspiracy, all right, I don't want to do all that. But I just want to see another being before I go. You know what I mean? I just wanna see that
It's a
because
big ass galaxy.
because there's
Mad
no way.
galaxies.
There's no way.
No way.
There's no way. I'm sorry.
So no matter what that being does or could do to you, you just want to be able to see it.
If it could,
All
I don't
see,
care
now
if it
you're
wants.
stereotyping.
I'm not.
No.
stereotyping.
He's
I'm
being
just-
Hollywood. He's being
You wanna
Hollywood. It's
see
all
it.
good.
You
know,
want to see it, even if it like could like touch you and then like you turn
Bang.
into dust. But you want to see it.
that
That's
was
what-
life. Good
Wow.
looking out.
Exactly. Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
I've been.
Fear mongering.
I understand where he's coming from.
I feel it, Steve. I feel it. You
I
scared.
understand what you mean.
I feel it. You scared, but
No, I'm not.
if that dude comes down, like, did you guys see Boss Baby? If he comes down, a little baby talking crap, like, yo, I'm good. Like, okay, where you from? I don't care if it's that.
Oh wow.
I don't care.
I just want to see it. Like
I just want to see it. That's it. I don't want to see it on the Tic Tac. You know what I mean? I want to see it on the.
Yeah, real beings, real alien beings. That would be cool.
The only conspiracy that I ever really, because there's so many out there, but all they do is just like, expand somebody's mind. But the Bermuda Triangle was always like, just like X-Files to me. Like,
Bro.
Like people go there and then they don't come back. But there's like so many cruises that you can go over there, and there's so many like tourist agencies that's like, come to the Bermuda Triangle. I'm like, wait. So it's not real. Or they just taking people's money, sending them over there, and it's like, okay, let's do it again.
Wow. Shout out to the X-Files.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna file, like, I'm not gonna front. The X-Files used to scare the out of me. That's the music.
Just the music
Classic.
alone.
Man, I used to be like, Mom, but why? And they didn't care. They'll blast it. Go to sleep.
I'm watching my shit right now.
Okay. So I don't think E wants to answer any of the conspiracy stuff.
No, but is it about a conspiracy we would start? Or
Yeah,
a
that you would
conspiracy
start.
that's already existed.
I see that.
Always what will start.
Nah. I already know your community now. You good.
Everything.
It's all good. Yeah. So if I was, I think the real conspiracy is that love is a physical thing instead of a spiritual thing.
Mm.
And so for me, the truth is that love, like Lennon said, and at the risk of, once again of sounding like love is really the answer. Like when we're hitting that highest frequency together, there's nothing that can stop us from achieving anything. Us collectively, all of us together with the earth, all living beings, we can create paradise. People want to think that we can't. So if it's conspiratorial to say that, that highest frequency love, that non-physical love, that spiritual love is the answer, then let's start it here, because we need a lot of it right now in this world. It seems like, everybody's ready to blow, and we need to calm the waters and just live in peace. And we can. It's a choice. I don't know if that's conspiracy enough, but
I mean, I do, because it's, remember the conspiracy, the whole thing is to have a belief in something that most people won't. And I think that is something, that we all feel, but we do not get too attached to, because it seems a limit. Like there's a limit. It's just a certain thing, something or someone or some reaction or some old trauma can make it all go away. And you're like, but I'm not the one that did it to you, and you can't really say that. You're be the end of the guy that says, like, I'm here for you, but you don't want to say, like, I didn't do it to you, or that was not what I meant, or anything. And it's just hard for people to stay in there, if that makes sense.
yeah, I agree. And we talked about the pandemic. Look, this is a moment of transformation for humanity. We're either going to succeed or fail, and the folks who don't embrace, the stuff that we've talked about tonight: oneness, love, truth in the moment, frequencies, energy sharing, positive, intention. It doesn't even always have to be positive. It just because it's not a positive only thing. You can't be positive only all the time. You have to deal with reality, and sometimes you got to walk through fire, literally, to get to a good result. And I think we're in an age of transformation, and it's time for everybody to wake up. And it's a choice. You got to walk into it, you know. And if we don't, we're fucked.
Straight up. Straight up.
This is where we're at in the course of history right now. So
What's the best Wi-Fi name you've seen?
I have the best Wi-Fi name.
Get off my shit.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Yeah. Hell Syphis. Anybody plays Elder Scrolls? No? It came out in the 90s and it's still big now. It's like 7 different games. No? All right, I'm a nerd. Never
Okay,
mind.
yeah. Shout out to the Geek Squad. It's all good.
Yeah, for real. Literally just
Hell
Still
Syphis
right
is
under
the
there.
greatest Wi-Fi name ever.
that's awesome. I've seen a lot of bad ones, but
So everybody that knows, Hell Syphis is basically Syphis is like a great spirit. It's almost like a deity in the video game, and he controls all the assassins. So it's real when somebody yells Hell Syphis around you. That means you about to get.
all right. You can stop saying it.
That
now
was
because
that
now
was
it's getting,
that was the
like like saying it like when somebody says this over and over.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh,
I'm not about to
What are you
have
about to-
somebody come right behind me.
Yo,
I'm a scaredy cat.
have some
about to say
vibe.
some
I'm a
shit,
scaredy
like,
cat.
okay.
Okay. I'll be running. I'll be, hey, yo, Coco, you good? I'm,
Like I didn't call on you, B. Chill.
oh, shit. That's probably when the guild started. That's probably like back in the day stuff right there. All right. So, you guys are funny. This is like, it's crazy, but I've seen friends lose each other over this question right here. How do you feel about putting pineapple on pizza?
yes.
Yeah, I think the first
It's great.
time I had a pineapple on pizza was something that Eric gave me. I think so.
Yeah, it might have been. I remember the first time I had it. I had it at some place in New York City, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it sounds like a very, very New York style type of pizza. Like,
But it was
not
amazing.
Hawaiian pizza. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. friends have lost friends over that question.
Yeah, I wonder what the
Bruh,
debate was. About
Listen,
that.
it's not even, it's
Like, don't mix the sweet with the saucy.
I don't get it. Look, I think my mom put me onto it one time. It was an order of a Hawaiian, and I was like, "Oh, okay, what's that? You know, what's that?" And then I had the pineapple. I was like, "That's good. That's
Right.
yummy." The fuck? And everybody's like, "Ew." But anyways,
Because
All
it
right.
does make it a little soggy if it's not done right. But if it's done right, a little bit of crisp on it.
yes, that's what I was saying. It has to be crunchy. It can't be.
Yeah.
It can't be soggy. What are the unwritten rules of where you work?
Put on clothes. Because I work from home.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, right. So.
Big shout out to that. Make sure the bottoms are at least shorts, right?
Exactly.
Fucking Zoom, man. I swear.
Well, then I guess that means for Eric, you can't say don't do something in the workplace that you would do at home because you're like super comfortable. But this dude is like, he's at home.
He's
in
at the
workplace,
crib.
so he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
But you know, like I remember the unwritten or unspoken rules of corporate America, and it was restrictive, man. It's like people didn't want to speak truth, you know, because they didn't want to get in trouble, or they didn't want to be seen as somebody who was disagreeable. You know, in corporate America, they really want you to kind of fall in line a lot of the times. Now, there are some great leaders that want not necessarily dissension, but other points of view. And so I know that there's a really good movement around diversity these days in corporate America. But I would say when you're ultimately feeding the quarterly profit dollar, it's not worth it. It's about what do you got to do to sell more, and if you're not making money, then you're gonna get cut. I mean, it doesn't matter how long you've worked any place anymore. It used to be that loyalty meant something, but it doesn't mean anything to the dollar today. So that conformity is tough. You got to find the right place. Corporate is definitely about some kind of a tribalism, I think, these days. There's cultures that are more conservative and cultures that are more open. And, if you're in the more exciting side of the business, the creative side, I think you get a little bit more freedom there. Finance, though, everybody, every company's got to have finance, and it's ultimately about the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Big shot.
Minding that.
I don't know how you guys have conversations with Eric because it goes somewhere else. But
sometimes you just gotta respond to what you can.
I'm sitting here like we're supposed to be laughing. We're not supposed to be.
I'm sorry, man.
We're pulling out.
Help it. I'm a serious guy.
No, I feel it. It's all good. I need that. I need that in my life anyway. But
these guys listen to me yap all the time. They're like, "When are you gonna shut the fuck up, man?"
But you know what? I know, and I hear it out of Jamar and I hear it out of Steven. They appreciate that because there's so many people that they probably came across and that just bullshitted the whole way, and didn't have that life or experience. And I'm not trying to like say no one had that, but I know when it's authentic, they listen, And even though we're supposed to find out what animal, if it could talk. I'm about to ask another question. Watch how this goes, guys.
That was a really smooth transition, man. I'm ready for it.
He's been doing this for a while, as you can see.
Yo, I appreciate that. Thank you. Look,
that was smooth.
What animal, if it could talk, it would be the rudest.
Oh, sheesh, that's a good question.
That's a damn good question. It'd have to be an ugly animal, kind of like
the first thing that came to mind was raccoon. I don't know why.
Ooh. Okay. Raccoon could be rude.
But I feel like it would have to be something. It would have to be something smaller because all the smaller, anything that's smaller just talks the most shit all the time.
Yeah, I think like a hyena. They're nasty.
I think they. You don't think they funny? I think they just.
Nah. I think they're nasty killers. They're nasty, man. They're like all about them.
Their face just says like "fuck you" kind of thing when they're walking up.
Yeah.
Word.
That's what I get from it.
Word. Nick's out of the UK is saying hamsters.
Really?
Eat something small. I was thinking like a squirrel because squirrels be like so fidgety and doop.
Yeah.
Fuck you. All right. And they keep moving.
Too many chipmunks. I bet they're bastards too.
Oh, chipmunks.
They're not the Alvin chipmunks.
No.
That we all wish.
Yeah.
We all wish chipmunks to be.
Yeah, they're little fuckers. Man. They'll destroy shit.
What would be the absolute worst name you can give your child? I already gave it to them.
What is it?
Dave. I literally gave my son in this day and age, and we're talking about they got the hair, they got the swag, they're doing all this new hip hop stuff, and his name is Dave. Like he had a nickname since middle school or something. I don't know.
Oh damn.
Probably had to, yeah.
Hopefully they're not calling him Lil Dicky or nothing like that.
Oof.
Yeah, like Richard is a really bad name for today, I think.
Yeah.
Richard. You know those
so
names
straight.
that like
Richard.
I know a lot of people that try to make names like flow kind of thing. So like their first name will be like Damn, I'm trying to think of their first name would be something crazy like Put On, and then their middle name would be like da 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 da, and then their middle name. I mean their last
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
So there's a lot of people that make weird names like that, like Heaven, or like um just
Yeah,
like
that's
a
strange.
word
Or
in the
Brooklyn.
dictionary instead of an actual name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like somebody I know somebody. No, I don't know somebody, but I'm pretty sure somebody out there is named Brooklyn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
pretty sure there's somebody with the name like
didn't a celebrity name their daughter Brooklyn? It's like, was it Gwyneth
I don't.
Paltrow?
I know a few girls named Brooklyn. They kind of.
yeah.
Does it work?
Yes, it
All right.
works.
Do you know a girl named Charlie?
I know a girl named Charlie. Yep.
It's, that to me is weird. That like the names that go with boy
Yeah,
and
the
girl. Those is
unisex. The unisex.
yeah, that's kind of scary to me.
Peyton Brush. Peyton Brush.
Peyton Brush.
Somebody said Peyton. The first name, middle name, Brush.
See, they get the
Yo.
idea.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
good.
That was nice. That
You
was
get the
nice.
idea.
Thanks, Nix, for that. All right.
Brush, man.
All right.
Peyton
All
Brush
right.
Meadows.
All right, guys. Stop being comedians. We're serious people here, okay?
Yeah.
No, for real. Like, thank you guys for playing that with me. You know what I mean?
That's fun. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I've had a great time. Thank you for inviting us, man.
Yeah, no doubt,
I'm
no
gonna
doubt.
quit.
I do have one last question, and it's because our radio station is based on the unsigned artists, right? We talked about this in before we started recording, that I just wanted to start something where people can go get heard. It didn't really have to be like a review, or something like that, because I think that's like the worst part of anybody's start to their career, for anybody to review music, but it's out there. When you guys see these new inspiring musicians, artists, and you already had the experiences, what are some of the things that you would tell them, or like help guide them, and hope that they take with them on their journey?
Yeah, I think I had a chance to produce some kids. They do like metal and hard rock, and I told them just follow your heart first and foremost. Like if you're not feeling it, nobody else is gonna feel it. So you've got to do whatever you can to clear whatever space in your life that allows you to take the time to feel your music, and then don't worry about any of that who said what bullshit. Don't try to impress anybody. Don't try to don't waste energy trying to be cool. Just be yourself. The more you're yourself, the more people will gravitate to you. I think I know for myself, when I was younger, I wasted a lot of time trying to be something or live up to a trend, or and it got me nowhere. And it'll get 99.9% of the people nowhere. That 0.001 person who's got the financial backing is going to get through the noise because they've got money to push. So, and then don't expect, especially if you're an indie, don't expect to be something. Like, don't try to be something. Just be. Make music because you love it, and people will feel it. Like we're not even at 1,000 followers on Instagram. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we've
But
got,
you have bigger audiences than you know. Maybe they just don't go on Instagram like that.
Yeah. We've got a little bit more on. We've got some decent followers on Facebook, and we think we've got over 100 on YouTube. It's not about the numbers. I mean, you got to play that game if you want to get into the celebrity game. But if you want to be a musician and you're about the music, then just be about and make sure that you feel every note that you play, regardless of the situation. if you got one person in front of you, do everything you can to turn that person on, because you never know who that person is and who they're going to bring next time. You know, every ear is a blessing. Anybody who's taking the time out of their day to pay attention to you is worth giving your all for. So try and do that in every situation.
Shout out to the Light Warriors. You agree with everything, Steve? You got an input, or you good? Because I know percussionists.
Yeah, no, I
got a whole leg.
I definitely agree with that. And the one thing that I would say is don't stop. Like, no matter what they do, is don't stop. Because the only reason that people stop, or like bands break up, or people go solo, is because there's like an outside force that like gets into their ear and tries to redirect them. And every single day that's happening to us regardless. So if you have something that you love, like music, and you're making music, whether it's for you or for other people to hear, you're going to have that tunnel vision. So the only way that you can have that tunnel vision is if you just stay going every single day. Whether you think it's good today and it sucks tomorrow or whatever, the consistency is key, and that's what's going to like drown out all of those noises. I remember back when I tried to have my own rap career, I was so in love with my music that nobody could tell me anything. I went in there with my own character all the time, and nobody could try to sway my character because I was being myself the whole time. And there was a lot of people that tried, but the only thing that stopped me was like an outside force, and it was just one that was so unorthodox that I just didn't know how to combat it. So that's what kind of like ended my drive.
Yeah.
But if I would have just kept going, who knows where I would have been by now, you know? So I would just say, don't stop. Just like Eric said, keep the passion going, and don't ever let somebody try to like tell you what you can and can't do. It's your dream, it's your life, it's your music. You do it for you, and everything that needs to come or is supposed to come is going to come. Don't try to force anything.
The Light Warriors. So many people. Big shout out to everybody listening. Thank you guys so much for chilling with us, laughing with us.
Thank you all.
Getting deep with us. And please, everybody on Bandcamp, Light Warriors, Book of One, so many other things, so many other remixes and things like that are on there. Video is out right now. They do try their best to give you guys everything that they do, these live events and all that. Follow them on Instagram. I'm sure that you're going to get a few follows today and later on too. Thank you guys so much for taking this time to talk to us. And I can't wait to hear this new. I'm on the list. You know what I mean?
We got you, man.
VIP.
Stop, because
thank you, man.
I take that shit serious. Let me stop. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us, Dave. It's been a real pleasure, man.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, man.
Bye. Light Warriors, based out of Connecticut, blending rock, funk, and reggae with indie sensibilities, delivering service to every note. The music transmutes an energy that both familiar and boundaryless, with deep connection to our global human family. Light Warriors wishes to thank all the guests and artists who freely gave their heart and soul to this interview. None of this is possible without you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to QSJRadio.com, home to the unsigned artists. I'm your host, Dave Hernandez, aka The GOAT. I try to tell them.